Have you ever had to move houses or even change countries? That's exactly what Ha had to do when she immigrated from Vietnam to the US during the Vietnam War. Tan Ha Lai wrote the story Inside Out and Back Again to show what Vietnamese kids had to go through during the Vietnam War. Ha is a 10-year-old Vietnamese girl who lives in Saigon, Vietnam, with her mom and her 3 brothers. She's in the lower class and considers her family to be very important to her. The story starts off with Ha and her family celebrating Tet. The blog La Ferry states, Tet is the Vietnamese New Year, marking the arrival of spring based on the lunar calendar. Ha also reminisces on the days her father wasn't missing. Her family try to lead normal lives, all while the Vietnam War is going on. They constantly have to ration food and be careful with their money. One day, the Vietnam War hits Saigon, and their uncle has to take them to board a ship. Once Saigon is overthrown, they have to pack bags and leave the country. On the ship, Ha, her mother, and her 3 brothers have to squeeze onto 2 wooden mats. They have to ration food and water for almost a whole month. After a month, Americans come and rescue them, and the ship arrives on Guam. An article from American Foreign Relations states, known as boat people for escaping Southeast Asia by sea, the exodus of hundreds of thousands of Southeast Asians generated a political and humanitarian firestorm for the international community, the US, and Vietnam. In Guam, they stay at a refugee camp called Tent City, where they learn English. In a Washington Post article from July 15, 1975, an American soldier states, Then they told us there would be about 20,000 people. We kept on erecting tents, and I didn't think we would ever stop. After Guam, they arrive in a refugee camp in Florida, which is where they decide they will stay in the United States in Alabama with a sponsor. In Alabama, it takes a while for them to assimilate to the culture. Ha starts attending school, and that's where kids start teasing her for her different looks and her different beliefs. At school, kids bully her for how she speaks. Her neighbors pity them, and her older brothers are also bullied. After a while, her family gets a house, her brothers go to college, and she stays in school. Her identity is important to her because it shapes the way she talks and acts. Her identity is different from the people around her, but she must accept that she's different and doesn't have to assimilate to meet everyone's standards. Some similarities Ha and I have between our identities are we both have 3 older siblings, we both are young women, and we both are American. However, I'm Caucasian and she is Vietnamese. She is also bilingual, but I only speak 1 language. Her identity causes her struggles at school and in public. She gets stared at and made fun of for her looks and the way she talks. I've never had to experience that, nor have I ever been made fun of for my identity. I've never had to assimilate to meet people's standards or to be accepted. Ha's story taught me that no matter what a person looks like or where they come from, I should be accepting of them and open to learning about cultural differences. Ha's story also taught me that the people of Vietnam value family and traditions. I thought this book was very educational and it was very well written. This book was probably one of the best books I have ever read. If I had to give it a rating, I would give it 5 out of 5 stars. I would recommend this book to any of my friends or family. This book taught me a lot about Vietnamese culture and different cultures from mine. A book page review by Robin Smith states, This moving and beautifully told story is a must-read for anyone who works with children new to the country. Ha's story will definitely stay with me throughout my life and will impact the way I treat other people.